My name is Cindy Voorhees. I'm a marriage and family therapist in Utah. I'd like to speak to you for a moment about the areas of energy, finance, consumer products, health, education, and media, and how they impact the mental health field. It's exciting because they're allowing us to better increase a client's life satisfaction. In the areas of energy and finance, we would like to install solar panels on our business to lower operating costs and to sell back the excess energy. Our cars will be self-driving, and we will offer the service of picking clients up, thus lowering our missed appointments. In the finance, we will have a banking app that will learn about our business and be able to predict the cycles that regularly occur with lean and plenty, and be able to pay our bills and save at the times that are necessary. It will be linked to a business much like Fundbox, so that if there is an emergency, it will look back at our history and be able to see how much we're going to need for how long and how we can pay it back. As more people are using apps such as Digit for their financial, how they use their finances, it will overcome the deterrent of cost for therapy, because Digit will slowly take off small amounts, and they will have a fund for therapy, which will hopefully get them to come in when there's just a small problem rather than a crisis. If those that can afford therapy want it, crowdfunding would be the way to go. We would create a scholarship fund funded by the public, those who want to help others, and then anybody that could come, whether they could afford it or not, would be able to have that opportunity. The other areas of health, education, media, and consumer product, I'm going to bundle all together because they're so similar in what we can do. A lot of people are wearing a Fitbit type device that monitors several of their vital signs. If we could get that information sent to the clinician, we would be able to find patterns. In a client with anxiety, we'd be able to see that maybe a certain time of day or an activity, or we could monitor how long a panic attack lasts for this client, and then we could create interventions accordingly. Much more efficient than the self-report way after the fact. This app, we would also have an app that could send them mini therapeutic interventions, reminders, or encouragement, something to keep the momentum up from the sessions. It would also remind them of their appointment coming up. It would remind them of the car that is about to pick them up. And it would also be able to play podcasts that would be effective for that client at that time. Instead of them having to scroll through and find it, it would read the data that we sent it to, and it would automatically start playing when they turned it on what they needed to hear. The excitement part that I'm excited about is AR and VR, augmented and virtual reality. It's technically now being used in treating phobias and remote rural clients, but we could bring the family into a family session in residential treatment, where right now, if the family's out of town and the client's here in Utah, we have a phone session with the parents. To bring them in using these reality things would be amazing in the treatment process. We could also tailor interventions for clients in between sessions using AR and VR. That would help them keep up the momentum that they had in session. We could, in the education field, we could insert the coworkers into our interns' practicum discussions at school. And that way we would be part of their education, and that would enhance that aspect of it. We could have the CEU, continuing education classes, AR, VR, which would be much more interesting than the webinars we're currently watching, and we wouldn't have to travel to the seminars. Finally, it would allow people to experience the symptoms of mental illness. Rather than just wearing headphones that the police get trained on, this is what an auditory hallucination sounds like, we could immerse people in the mental illness symptoms so they could truly understand. This would bring empathy and understanding and patience, and maybe even awareness that sparks more funding. These are just some of the amazing and wonderful things that are available that we are so excited for, and hope that they can receive the funding needed in order to thrive. Thank you.